Hi everyone. Just gonna add a little more light. Yeah. Hi everyone. You're on with this is the L Boogie Speaks to show. Of course, today is Sunday, February the 18th, and we're gonna discuss black. I call it the black non-leadership all over America. Black DAs and mayors. They aren't working for the best interests of the people that put them in office. And we're gonna go over some of the things that's going on with these mayors and DAs. And I'm quite sure you may have heard some things, but as I realize, you have some people that keep up with what's going on, some people don't. This is where I come in with my show. I use my show to try to inform you guys about what's happening. So you have black embattled and black ineffective leadership all over America. These DAs. We're gonna start with the DAs. Fonnie Willis. Um, I looked at the trial. I looked at the trial. Looked at them being questioned. Um, Wade. I looked at their testimonies. It was crazy. Uh, Wade. He was real. He was smooth, calm. He answered the questions and whatnot. But Atlanta DA Fonnie Willis. She came in hot. She was heated. She came in heated, and when she got on the stand, if you saw what was going on, she won't take it no prisoners. But a lot of things came out. Their stories did match. I'm happy they didn't throw each other under the bus. But in a profile case such as the DA's office, trying to prosecute those involved, including a former president of stealing in election in this state of Georgia, you have to cross your T's and dot your I's, which did not do. I'm trying to figure out why they didn't know that would be under such a microscope, and I think they were just waiting in the wings for something to happen for them to make a mistake. I really don't think they have any. Well, far as what I see now, they didn't have any proof of any financial gain from Wade being hired as special prosecutor. But the mere fact of them having an inappropriate relationship, you know, and that coming out, which shouldn't have came out if they had did things differently, that is it throws a taint over the whole case. The mere fact that even if they aren't found guilty of anything except for having an inappropriate relationship, it throws a taint over the whole case. It just makes everything look ugly and nasty. And the judge ultimately could just take her off the case. And I think the ultimate goal is maybe not to find everyone guilty of trying to steal the election in Georgia, but putting it off. Even if the case is put off until after the election, that would be a goal for them because it will be put off, and then by then, more than likely, Trump will be president, and then ain't no telling what happens after that. So you have that with her. My main beef with her is when she was elected, her office. This is what my main beef about the DA. Her DA office is this: prosecutor wants Rashad Brooks' case moved, blaming her prosecutor. This is it's a New York Times piece about what happened when Fonda Willis's DA office let off for Rashad Brooks' killer, which was a Atlanta police officer, pointing the blame or pointing to the conduct of the district attorneys she defeated last year. She defeated what's the previous mayor, not previous the previous DA. Paul Howard. She ran for the district attorney's office, and she defeated Paul Howard and became Atlanta's DA. Paul Howard put charges on the police officer that shot Rayshard Brooks. She comes into office and she removes the charges. And I'm just going to give you guys a little information about that. I'm not pretty too much. It looks bad about what's going on presently, but my main beef with her DA's office is the fact that they let this cop off for killing this man. Fonnie Willis was still a candidate for district attorneys of Georgia's largest county when she concluded that the office should not have handled a high-profile case against a former Atlanta police officer charged in the fatal shooting of Rayshard Brooks. This week, one of her first significant moves as chief prosecutor in Fulton County, Ms. Willis formally asked the state attorney general to transfer the case against Garrett Rolfe, fired from the police department after killing Rayshard Brooks on June 12, 2020, out of her office, along with a separate excessive force case against 6 other Atlanta police officers. This is what she did when she came in office. The request throws the process into uncertainty because a new prosecutor will have discretion over how to proceed, if at all, with a case that fueled widespread racial justice protests last summer. This was in 2020. Ms. Willis said she based her decision on the action of Paul Howard, the longtime district attorney whom she defeated that year. Mr. Howard, who obtained arrest warrants in the Rolfe case while he was seeking re-election, used video clips from the shooting in his campaign commercials. I don't know if that's why he lost, but at the same time, my issue with her is that her office didn't proceed with charging this police officer for killing this man the way he did. Then you have Alvin Bragg. He's the district attorney of Manhattan, New York, in New York City. Migrants, there's a whole crime spree going on. They've let Venezuelan gangs into the country, and they're forming organized crime, and they are ravaging New York City with crime. It's a crime spree. They attack police. They robbing bodegas, going in, getting the money. They just doing their thing. So it's an uptick in crime since the migrants have come to New York. So Alvin Bragg actually didn't maybe set a bail for the illegal migrants that jumped on 2 New York police officers. So the guys, they end up letting them go. They didn't have a bail. They end up letting them go. And some of them, not all of them, they got out of the city and haven't been seen or found since. They apprehended some illegal migrants in Arizona, thinking that they were the ones that escaped from New York, pun intended. And it's funny. And they weren't the ones that they were looking for. So they haven't found those guys. But they have now charged 1 or 2 of the individuals. I think the individual that actually started the melee in Times Square, New York, with the 2 police officers, he's out on a $15,000 bail. They locked him up, put him in Rikers Island. He made bail. So who's to say he's going to hang around to go to court? Even if they put an anklet monitor on him, he can cut that off, get on the bus and leave. And they don't even know the name he's given. They don't even know that whether that's his real name or not. So you have these non-leadership. It's just, you can look and see what they're doing in every major city where there's a black mayor. It's some bullshit going on. So we're gonna get to the mayors. Eric Adams. He's proposed to spend $53 million giving illegal migrants $1,000 cards that they could spend on whatever they want to spend it on. They can spend it at the bodegos, buy food, stuff for their kids, or whatever. $53 million, giving them $1,000 cards when you, and then you still, and he's not paying any attention to the citizens, the taxpayer paying citizens of New York. And of course, you have United States citizens that are on the street, homeless, and need assistance, but they can't get any, but the migrants can. So these Negroes, they sell out. They sell out. They don't have no shame. They don't have any shame. They loyal to the Democratic Party. They're not loyal to the people that put them in office. I don't know who came up with this idea of leaving the gate open and letting all these people in here, but it is not looking good, and it is coming back to bite them. Then you got Mayor Brandon Johnson. He attempted to take over a community center in a black community. So they were strong enough to take him to court, and I think they got an injunction or whatever. So, because he wanted to move migrants in, Brandon Johnson is just, it's like you turn on the TV and you look and you see these mayors and these black people in leadership positions, and it's just you don't get anything positive out of just looking at what they're doing with these cities. So, and you have Tiffany Hilliard. You may have not heard of her before, but next to Brandon Johnson, there's Dalton, Illinois. It's like a suburb outside of Chicago, and Tiffany Hilliard is the mayor, and I think she is the city manager. She is blowing the taxpayer money on all kinds of stupid shit. I looked at a video early today, and the trustees, she's the mayor, and you have trustees. I think they would be somewhat considered maybe aldermen or whatever, but they're trustees on the board, and they was going over the budget with her and telling her that the little city that they're in is about to go bankrupt because she's blowing too much money. She's spending money on herself, posters, billboards of her face and whatnot. Tiffany Hilliard, the super mayor, and all this and that. It's just nonsensical, the shit that she is doing. Let me give you this. She's blowing and wasting money. She spent $149,146.20 on a Tahoe. It's leased. But at the end of the lease, the city would have paid over nearly $150,000 to rent a vehicle. And meanwhile, the vehicles that they have leased for the police department are about to be repossessed because she's not paying for the vehicles that the police use. She says blowing money on hotels, blowing money on food, renting 7, 8 hotel rooms. It's just, what in the hell? What? I'm trying to figure out, how did she get elected? Okay, it's a predominantly black city, but I'm still trying to figure out, how did she get elected? She's blowing all the money. And now they are getting the overflow of migrants from Chicago. Where are they going to get the money? And if they do have the money, it's just bad. It's a bad, ineffective black leadership. It's like these people, they get elected to office and they think they can do whatever the hell they want to do. I'm like, illegal. Okay, you have Atlanta mayor. Now, I recently reported on what's going on with the city of Atlanta as far as taking in migrants. That's been kind of kept quiet. And the last I checked, there were 46,000 illegal immigrants in Atlanta and counting. I'm assuming the number has gone up at least 20 or 30,000, possibly. I just have to check so I can get accurate numbers to give to you guys. But the non-black leadership all over America, they have no shame. They do not care about nothing or nobody but themselves. That's all they care about. And in November, not only in November, when your local elections come up, stop voting for these clowns, because that's what they are. They are fucking clowns. Stop voting for them. Stop voting for them. Why? Why you giving them your vote? It ain't about color. It's about if they're going to handle business or not. I mean, you can't give your vote to people just because they look like you. All skin folk ain't kin folk, as we are now able to see. They don't give a shit about they don't give a shit about the citizens, and that's no matter what color they are. But particularly their black constituents, they do not care. Look at what's going on in Boston, Roxbury. They moving the migrants in Roxbury and kicking the people out of their shit, out of their community centers where they have their children in after school programs and whatnot. No, it's not good. It's not a good thing. They have to go. So stop giving these clowns your vote. All skin folk ain't kin folk. We have to do better. And particularly with the Democratic Party, because if you look at these states, they're all Democratic states. All Democratic states and all Democratic run cities. So we have to put them on notice in November. We can't support them if they don't have the people. If they do not have the people at heart, if they're not doing the work of the people and they're party first and not people first, then you should not support them with your vote. Particularly the Democrats. And I'm talking. I'm so pissed off locally in the city I live in. I live right outside of Atlanta, but still in Fulton County. If you want my vote, you're gonna have to give something up, and it's got to be more than your mouth and your lips and your words and your empty promises. Otherwise, I'm not. I'll sit out and won't vote at all if I have to. I'll vote for the couch. I'll be chilling on the couch on election day. Come on, people. But what I will say, people are waking up. I ain't gonna hold you guys much longer. I just want to get this in. The non-black leadership. I'm talking about and hope can't leave out the Black Caucus and Congress. Can't leave them out. What have they done? What has the Black Caucus done? What have they said? Black people murdered in Tops supermarket in Buffalo, New York. They didn't say anything. Then in Florida, at a Dollar General, you had more black people murdered. Both these instances, black people were murdered by white supremacists. Have these Negroes came out and said anything about an anti-black, anti-hate black crime bill, anti-black hate crime bill? But they broke their necks to vote for anti-Asian hate crime bill. So they have to pay. They have to pay. They have to be gone. They have to be replaced because they're not serving. They should change their name to the caucus and take the black out. That's what they should do because they're not the Black Caucus because they for everybody but black people. But they for themselves. They're for themselves and for every other people. They're not for black people. They got to go. This is L Boogie. This is the L Boogie Speaks 2 show. I just want to give y'all guys this spiel. I haven't been on this week, but it's been a lot of crazy nonsensical nonsense going on all week long with this trial. I was like, look at that. I'm like, this is a fucking clown show. I'm like, what is going on? Basically, Wade and Willis, to me, their only thing they're guilty of is creating a paper trail It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. But at the same time, it looks horrible. You know, you're trying the president of the United States, but then y'all gonna have y'all knocking boots. Come on, man. Come on. We got to do better. We have to do better. To whom much is given, more is required. But they don't care, so we have to move in a different direction. And all this pandering going on. President Biden having a dinner, sitting down with black folks, a single black father and his sons and stuff, pandering for votes. Come on, man. Y'all got to give something up. Y'all not giving nothing up. Y'all not getting no votes. I'll holler at y'all later. This is L Boogie. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys the next time God leaves his footprints in the sky. Peace.